So everybody, good morning. Good morning. Oh my goodness. This cold is not letting up. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But it's only my life, right? It's my life this week of just having a cold. And my alarm went off a little bit before 6, and I turned it off. And I laid there. I was like, okay, I'm going to get up. And then I promptly passed out, and I fell asleep. And then I woke up again to a cough, and it was 6:30. I'm like, oh man, it's 6:30 now, and I was just coughing. Did not feel good. Of course, at 4:30 this morning, I was coughing too. And then as I was making coffee, and I was thinking about, what am I going to talk about for Conscious Coffee this morning? What's the topic of the day? What is things? And I kind of had a whole bunch of people's comments from yesterday pop into my head. Just different things. And one person's particular comments for sure. And that was actually in regards to another Conscious Coffee from last week, I believe, or maybe the week before, about 2 weeks ago. And I guess in that particular Conscious Coffee, I was talking about claiming your life. And I know that I talk a lot about claiming your life, and that's a statement that I use a lot. I mean, shit, it's on the front of my website. Claim your life. So, hey, good morning, Addison. Good morning, Amy. So it doesn't surprise me that I was talking about this on Conscious Coffee, but this particular person was telling me just about like how that really impacted and changed his world, and had like this ripple effect for the day, and how just that comment was like casting a stone into his pond and sending out this ripple, and how just from that comment and a couple other things that I said in that particular Conscious Coffee, and maybe it only took up like 10 seconds of the whole talk, but what it did was it changed his whole day. It changed the way he processed, the way he looked at, the way he reacted to everything else in the day. And then from there, his day literally went from just being what his normal days are to this ripple happening, and this ripple actually ended up causing major transformation in his world, in his life, because he took it to things happened at work, things happened at home, all the stuff happened, and just a couple comments from me completely changed his world. So as I was thinking about that and the whole concept of the ripple effect, and how we really try to avoid that wobble, that wavering, that sensation that we sometimes get when ripples happen in our life, and we're not very comfortable with riding our own life waves. We believe that things need to just be kind of very cool and still and calm, and it's like there's always this beautiful tranquil pool where you see the beautiful, like koi fish below and all this or that, and that's the way life should be. It should always be like that. And ripples aren't okay, and waves aren't okay, and fucking storms aren't okay. And here's the realization: it's your fucking life, and there's going to be storms. There's going to be coughs. There's going to be colds. There's going to be ripples. There's going to be changes. There's going to be all this different stuff that happens, and you can't avoid it. But what you can do is you can claim your life. You can claim your life. You can command what you want in your life to happen. You can set the tone to what you want to have happen by literally making sure that you put yourself into the right mindset, the right emotion set, the right physical set, all these different things to just align yourself. Because if you don't align yourself, if I don't align myself, then we've got no room to bitch, basically. There's no room to bitch if you don't align yourself. All right, we're going to do a quick timeout because my dog needs out. So I will be right back. Let me let my puppy out. Okay, we did not need a pool in the house. Didn't need that. And she would leave a pool in the house if she wasn't let out. So, okay. So it's our responsibility as individuals to get into that alignment. And if we don't do the work to get into alignment, then we got no fingers to point at anywhere other than ourselves. We don't even get to go like this. We just get to go like this. That's it. That's all we get to do is just do this. Because we're the only ones who can get ourselves into alignment. Nobody else on this planet has any effect on us, ultimately, to get into alignment if we don't do the work ourselves. So, you might go, well, I'm in alignment and my life still isn't working out. Bullshit. Because here's the reality. If you were in alignment, the things that you were wanting would be coming in. The things that you were desiring would be manifesting. There would be a sensation there. You would be able to feel the pull of that stuff coming to you if you were in alignment. There would be a charge. There would be an expectation. There would be a turn on in your life around these things if you were actually aligned to them. You would also have, with that turn on, almost like a sense of peace, a sense of knowing, but you should have a turned on sensation. And I use turn on here because we've all been turned on sexually. We've all been turned on sexually to a partner. We've all had that, like, woo, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. They're so this, they're so that. And that desire to our partner. So if you can bring yourself into that sensation, just bring yourself into, that's kind of what I'm going to feel when my desires, when my goals are actually in alignment to me. You're not going to feel resistance. You're not going to feel them pulling away from you. You're not going to feel emptiness. You're not going to feel like, a what if, or am I doing this right, or anything like that. There's going to be like that sense of just peace and knowing with a turned on longing, desire, expectation, and just like this like fluttery, warm, pulsing, yummy, good feeling that goes with it. That is magnetism. And that's what that is. That is quite literally magnetism, that you are pulling in your desired dreams and goals to you. Maybe they're not 100% into your life yet, because quite literally sometimes we want to create things that take just a little bit of time, right? Take us a little bit of time. And when we're in alignment, they're coming quicker, but we do have to have just a smidgen of patience and actually allow for things to manifest. So, it's like, you want to manifest $1 million. Well, that's great. You can absolutely 150,000% do that. You can have it tomorrow. Your odds of having it tomorrow are not fantastic, of course. But that's just because, and it's not that you can't have $1 million show up tomorrow. Yes, you could. But the thing is that your expectation of it showing up tomorrow is limited. Your belief that it could show up tomorrow is limited. And you could go, oh no, I can believe that $1 million is going to show up tomorrow 100%. No, you probably can't, because unless you've had $1 million show up yesterday, or in the near future within 1 hour or within 1 day of saying, I want this, and then it appearing, then your belief really is not that strong. So you don't really believe that $1 million is going to show up tomorrow. And you can try to talk yourself into that belief. There's a really big difference between giving your beliefs lip service and actually believing what you claim you want. When you claim your life, you've got to actually change that core belief. And you can tell if you're changing your core belief or not by what is showing up in your life, quite literally. So, look at the things that you say that you want. Look at the things that you say that you desire. Look at the things that you want to claim for your life. And then look and see, what are those sensations? What are those feelings? How are they appearing in my life in little ways? Because that stuff is going to come in little ways. Last night I was out on a date with a man, and we were talking about positive affirmations and goal setting, and I was just sharing some different stuff, and I told him, sharing some stuff going on in my life, and we were talking about some articles that I had just recently written over this week, and or last couple days, maybe since last Friday or whatever. And I wrote an article called I'm the Girl You Love. And we were talking about that particular article. And in that particular article, I'm talking about how, I'm the girl that you love, and I'm this and I'm that, and I'm your everything and I'm your nothing. And the reality is that you don't really know me. You think you know me, you think this, you think that, but you love me, and you claim that you want me, and you claim that you support me, and you want me to fly, but the reality is that you actually want to own me. And I go through all this stuff. You might want to check it out. But the gist of what I'm saying here is that while we were talking about this particular article, I was sharing with him that over the last 7, 8, 9 months, since last summer, up until about a month ago, I was writing in my morning journal. I don't know how, but it just is, that I have all the love that I desire. And I just wrote that. That was the very first entry. And I do these things. Like, I have right now, my very first entry is completely different. It's more focused on business. And then I always end my journal with the exact same entry every single day. So there's like 2 focus points in my world. And that is my very first entry and my last entry. And everything else, I just kind of like bounce around on stuff. But I always start my journal with the exact same entry every single day. And what I was doing for like the 7, 8 months since summer to so whatever was this one journal writing. I don't know how, but it just is that I have all the love that I desire. Now, I wasn't looking at love as far as like romantic love. I wasn't looking at it in any particular way. I was just taking in the context of the feeling of love, and to have that love, that support, that connection that I believe that all of us need. So I really was just wanting to expand on the love that I already had in my life, which is I've always had a lot of people in my life to love on and to be loved on by. So there is definitely a believing there that I can have that, but because of certain situations that have happened over the last year of my life, I've kind of questioned love in general. So I kind of questioned on that, so I decided I was going to do some healing work around the topic of love. And one of the things that I thought would be good was to call in all the love that I desired. Well, sometimes you got to be careful with the words that you use with yourself, with spirit, and with God, for sure. Because what happened was that I literally created a belief around a massive amount of love, and then I ended up having so much more outspoken love situations happen in my life over the last 3-4 months, big time. Over the last month, absolutely astronomical amounts coming from people where, it's just like, I've been into some very those situations where you go, okay, you start just feeling uncomfortable because there's all this love is being expressed and you don't know how to receive it, and you don't know how to connect to it and how to give it back, and like, do I really love this person the way they're loving me, and all this different stuff, all these questions rise up. How do I feel about this? So there's kind of like, you got your love boundaries, and what I've been experiencing is that I've had a lot of love boundaries being pushed on lately, and I did it to myself. And the reason I'm telling you this is because we do these things to ourselves. We can point out, and I could say, oh, so-and-so is doing this, and so-and-so is doing that, and that's their fault, that's their issues. They shouldn't love me like this, they shouldn't proclaim these things, they shouldn't say these things, they shouldn't da 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 da. Well, I can proclaim all of that all damn day long, and to a degree, yes, that is, I'm going to cough again. Yes, that is their stuff, their shit. But here's the reality. I started changing my beliefs around love. I started opening up to love by setting this commandment, because that's what those are. They are commandments through that positive manifestation journaling that I do every single day. I am creating commandments in my life. And by creating those commandments in my life, I'm claiming certain blessings to come down to me. And that's why when I say, claim your life, claim your blessings, claim this, claim that, that's what part of the process is, because we have to actually claim it. But then, on the other side of it, we might get the shit scared out of us, because now we start receiving this stuff in different ways. We don't know how to receive it. We don't know what to do with it. It feels uncomfortable. So we start to push it away. Like in my case, I decided I just wasn't going to write that prompt anymore. I'm changing my journal prompt. Shit, that worked so good. And now I'm going to go and I'm going to put this journal prompt in there onto something else that I want. I flipped it to completely materialistic prompt on the front side now. Or I went into I don't know how, but it just is that I have all the love that I desire. And then I flipped it to a more materialistic thing over the last month and a half, because I needed to back away, because there was almost too much love coming to me, which means that I changed a belief at a core level inside myself to such a great degree that now I have this love magnet going on, that everybody believes that they need to tell me how much they love me, or share their affection with me and share their connection with me, and it's just to the point that it feels almost overwhelming sometimes. It's lovely, it's awesome, it's amazing. I guess I desire a lot of love. That's also the thing. I just met the whole truth there, that my statement was all the love that I desire. Guess I desire a lot, because I'm getting a lot. So when you look at the things that you want in your life, when you look at those things, and then you go, well, hey Kendal, I'm journaling. Hey Kendal, I'm doing meditation. I'm focusing on this. I do my gratitude prayers. I read these books, the books that you've even recommended. I read those books. I do this. I do that. I do. Yeah, you do. You do. Okay, I do not doubt that you do these things. And I know from a lot of people that I talk to and that I work with that they are doing these practices. They are actually doing the creation work, the physical, mechanical, we'll call it that. They're doing the mechanical aspect of the materialistic or the emotional or the mental work and trying to make those shifts. But you can write something out all day long And if you're actually writing it and then blocking it with 10 negative thoughts, 10 resistance thoughts, maybe you are aware of them or not, doesn't much matter. But if you write something out, like I'm going to use my thing, I don't know how, but it just is that I have all the love that I desire. If I wrote that out and I didn't try to lean in and open up to it, but instead I went, as I'm writing it, yeah, whatever, no, I'm not lovable, I'm fat, I'm this, you know what, everybody always walks away from me, everybody always leaves me, everybody always, I'm not, nobody really loves me, I'm useless, everybody just wants to use me, I'm good for this, I'm good for that, but I'm not really that person that anybody actually wants to love, I'm not really this, I'm not really that, well, and I think back to all these different experiences that I have had. I've had all those experiences. I felt like a piece of trash in relationships. I felt like I was the throwaway girl. I felt like my people in my life just abandoned me. I felt like, you know, this happened or that happened and that I wasn't worthy of it. Whether it was my worthiness, my feeling that God just didn't want me to have it, or the evidence showed that it was something else. I felt all that shit before from multiple different sources. And then also I'm the mom of 7, so I'm consistently told about the horrible mother that I am and how they don't love me as well, because that's what kids do, right? They get pissed off at you and they tell you that you're horrible and they don't love you. Especially like 5-year-olds. They're great for that. And teenagers. Yes, 15-year-olds do that too. So, I mean, I have lots of resources to tell me that I'm not loved or lovable. If I wrote down that particular call in, that particular claiming, and I wrote it with, I don't know how, but it just is, that I have all the love that I desire, and I followed it up with 10 negative thoughts, sensations, and here's the thing, you might not be aware of the thoughts that you're having, the negative thoughts that you're having. Pay attention to the sensations in your body when you're actually claiming things. Because when you're claiming things, if you're claiming it and you feel turned on to it and you feel excited about it and you feel open to it and you feel like, I mean, literally get into like a sexual tone here of receiving. If you are excited because your lover is there and you're just like, oh, right? And you just want to like open up yourself and you want to just pull your lover in and you want to feel the embrace and you want to feel the penetration and you want to feel this and you want to feel that. And you can really get into that sensation. And this is the relationship that you're having with this thing that you are claiming. Well, then guess what? Then that means that thing is right there, ready to give itself to you. It means that you are actually drawing it in and you are actually getting ready to receive it. If you are writing it down and you feel like, oh, I got so much tension in my back, my head hurts, and I'm thinking about this and I'm thinking about that, and I'm just kind of like going through this. No, I kind of feel like gassy and maybe I need to go to the bathroom and oh man, how long is this taking? And oh, you know, and then you have like the negative thought of, no, yeah, no, well, this always happens and that always happens and blah, 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 blah. What you're doing right there and what your body is telling you from the processing that your body is doing when you write this stuff down is that you are actually getting told your resistance level to whatever you are trying to call in. So if you are experiencing more resistance, sensation, thought, emotion around stuff, realize that when you're writing, you're probably having a massive amount of resistance thought, negative thought that is created through our evidence of our past to show us that this shit ain't gonna work. It's not true. We're not worthy, because that's what it comes down to, right? It comes down to our worthiness every single time. We have shame around it. We're insecure around it, blah, 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 blah. We don't feel worthy. Then what you actually need to do is realize that you really got to do some hardcore work on those core beliefs and change that feeling of resistance to a feeling of turn on. So you want that turn on, you want that like yes, 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 yes feeling, and you want to be like drawn into it, okay? So you want those things that you're calling in to almost pull you into them, and you're pulling them into you. That's called magnetism, right? It's just like when you get really, really horny and you're with somebody that you really want to be with, and you know the sex is going to be fucking amazing, and you're just like woo, 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 and you're just like yes, 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 let's get it on. And it feels really good, and it's really connected. All right, that is the same energy, same feeling that you want to get to have with your desires, with your goals, with your creation work, with the things that you're changing, with that new belief structure. Because you can literally manifest anything that you want. It is your fucking life, and you can claim it, and you can manifest whatever you want. You can do it really, really quick. But the trick to it is this right here. That's the trick. That's the big bad secret. That's the thing that's hiding out. That's the thing that's been boxed up and nobody wants to talk about, is that you actually have to get to a state of turned on magnetism for your dreams and your desires so that you can actually call them in. And the truth that you have to push through is the reality that you can say that you're in alignment all day long. You can spend the rest of your life claiming that you're in alignment, and claim it, and that's a good place to start. But if you never go past that start line, if you never actually break that start tape, and you don't just go through it, and you don't just run through that shit and really run toward that dream, that goal, that desire, that alignment, you can stand here and you can say, well, I'm here. I'm in alignment. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. They're just physical things that you're doing. They're just things that you're like, sure, you can write it out. You may receive what you want in like 20 years from now. If you want to hang out, you want to wait 20 years for this, for whatever it is that you're writing today, for whatever it is that you'd like to call in today. You want to wait 20 years for it. Continue down that path. Go ahead. Just stay standing there. Wait for it to come to you. Keep dipping and doing this, wavering over there, because as long as you're doing this wobble, you're not in alignment. Wobbling is not alignment. Okay? It's not. So, alignment is steady. Alignment is when you just kind of pop up and you're just floating, and maybe you're wobbling like this, okay? Maybe you're wobbling like this, but you're not going like this. Maybe you're bouncing a little bit. Maybe your ego gets you a couple times every single day. Maybe you do get sad. Oh, what a horrible thing, right? But you lean into it, and at the base of it you go, no, damn it. This is my life. I'm going to claim it. No, damn it. Yes, I'm upset about that, but I'm not going to let my ego get me there. I'm going to actually move forward. I'm going to actually do this. I'm going to do something that is pleasurable because I want to draw pleasure into my life. So I want more pleasure in my life, so I'm going to create pleasure in my life. I'm going to do things that I want to do. I'm going to do things that make me feel good. I'm going to do things that might appear a little bit selfish, might appear like I'm not giving a shit about other people, that I'm not doing this, that I'm not doing that, because I'm actually going to start saying no to that. I'm going to start saying no to that. I'm going to start saying yes to this. This is where I'm going to say yes, because I want to do it. And I'm going to do it just because I want to do it. I don't have to explain it. I don't need a reason for it. I'm just going to do what I want to do. The more you do that, the more in alignment you're going to be. The more you're going to now become magnetic to your dreams, to your goals, to your desires. You're going to increase your vibration, and you're going to lift yourself up. Just lift yourself up, vibrationally speaking, so that you can actually receive what you're claiming that you want. Because the reality is that if you are in a heavier energy, a heavier vibration, and typically the things that we want are bigger and better than us, are vibrating at a higher vibration, a quicker intensity, They're not going to slow themselves down for us. They're not going to make themselves heavy for us, okay? That $1 million is not going to turn into $20 and still be worth $1 million just so that we can attract it. Okay, it's not going to happen. You want the $1 million, you gotta actually vibrate at the $1 million level, which means that you have to lighten your resistance, speed up your vibration, which means lightening your resistance. That's how you get there. But you get there through your turn on. You get there through your charge. You get there through your opening, not your shutdown. If you're shutting down, you're not in alignment. If you're opening, you're ready to receive. Quite literally, you just get to this point where you have to be more open, more expansive, which also means that you're going to appear to be the word that everybody doesn't want to be, selfish. You're going to start to appear to be more selfish. And you're going to start saying yes to the most important person on the planet, which is you. And you're going to start saying yes, which means also that you're going to probably start saying no to things and to people that you normally wouldn't say no to because they're not in alignment to your core. And you know that if you... I got coffee on my beat. That if you say yes to something that's not in alignment, then it's actually going to pull you down. It's going to weigh you down, and it's going to lean in on your resistance that you have around your dreams, your goals, your desires already. So there you have it. It's your fucking life. Claim it. Claim it. You only have this life to live. So we know. If there is an afterlife, if reincarnation is a thing, yippee yay. But here's the thing, you get to start out fresh. If it's reincarnation, you're not really going to get to, outside of spiritual stuff. Yes, you might get to take your spiritual lessons with you, and this is all spiritual lessons. So even then, when you rather have a whole bunch of good spiritual lessons about claiming your life under your belt to take into the next life, or to take wherever the hell we're going from here. And if this is the only life that we live, do you want to live it with regret and heaviness and just lack of living, lack of loving, lack of receiving, and just telling yourself, no, I don't deserve it? I mean, do you want to be one of those people that's laying on their deathbed going, I wish I had loved more. I wish I had risked more. I wish I had explored more. I wish I had received more. I wish that I had been me more. I wish I didn't care so much about what everybody else thought of me, but I cared more about living my life. It's your life. Do with it as you so choose. But with that, you have to really think about it and ask yourself, how do you want to feel? Are you happy? Do you feel good in your life today? Is what you want showing up consistently? Or are you really discontent and lost and not happy? Are you really feeling like shit? And I'm not just talking about having a cold. Something much deeper than that. Oh, the itch in my throat is a real pain in the ass. Well, actually a pain in my throat. But what you need to do, seriously, no matter what it is that you decide, is realize that it's your life and only you can live it. So fucking live it. Live it. Live it. Claim it. Breathe it. Love it. Be it. Experience it. Live it. Okay, and before I go into a cough attack, I'm going to just tell you, or maybe not, stop existing, start living. Check out the course that's posted here, and I'll catch you tomorrow at 6 a.m.